Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Grandkids are off from school again today, so I guess due to the weather. So you might hear them playing around out there. They get up early now. You have to fight them getting out to bed when they got to go to school. Hey, how you doing, T? Glad to have you with me. All right, family. Again, the subject gonna be working with the law average and explaining the law average. Uh, I guess when you're teaching things, you can't think that everybody knows everything. I did have a subscriber. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Glad did have a subscriber to ask me what is the law average, or they had to go and try to figure out what it is. So I figured I'd make this one of those teaching moments on the law average. But as I always start off with two things specifically with the pick thread glance strategy and the two principal things that I think everybody has to really understand to be bigger, better winners. And like I also start off with OPPB, be organized, be patient, be persistent, and stick with a budget. And play responsibly, you all. Don't pretty much, even if we figure out a way or come up with some kind of strategy to say we could call the numbers in all the states that would come in every day, the lottery would close down. As simple as that. They would say, hey, we ain't paying out this kind of money. Or they'd change it, make it even harder to win. So, we already know that it's set up for you to lose, not for you to win. But the pick three of the glance strategy is set up where it makes it fun. It makes it a game out of tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. That's what I really enjoy about it. I track the actual 1,000 numbers and see what they're doing, and that's why I say that these 1,000 numbers are random. There's no rhyme or reason why these numbers or how these numbers are going to come out from day to day, month to month, year to year. Like I say, it's some single numbers of 1, 2, 3, like that I know in Missouri. And it's not 1, 2, 3. It's like 5, 7, 2, and 192 and 160. It hadn't been out in 15 years. So we can't, get ourselves in a financial bind with this game. And you can do good, but you have to know why you playing your numbers. And the only way you're gonna know why you playing the numbers is tracking the actual 1,000 numbers. Like I say, when I was doing it, I just couldn't get it with the tic tac toes, the date sums, the creas, the flips, the mirror, the multiple rundowns, and I'm a person that hate to losing if it's for fun and I'm playing. So I make myself knowledgeable of everything that I endeavor to make sure that I'll be a winner or one of the top winners anyway. But those things wasn't getting me there. So I started to pick three at a glance strategy, uh, my own system after studying over 30 years to say, okay, I need something that I understand. And when I put it together and I knew that what I was doing, I understood, I felt that I could teach it and let everyone else probably understand and realize these numbers are random and you just can't do a tic-tac-toe, a date sum, a grid, and flips and mirrors and figure out what numbers to come the next day. And most of that is hindsight. Most of that is done after the numbers then come out. Then you're trying to figure out what numbers come the next day. It don't work like that. You'll see it won't work like that. So that's the one thing. The numbers are random. And then number two, the lottery can do whatever they want as far as making it harder and harder to win. And I think that's part of this fireball thing they came up with. Um, I see that the numbers are taking longer to hit using law average. And they're random. They're not random if they can choose the numbers. That means they got the game and gone with it. That's all I can say. And can they do whatever they want with the game? Well, yeah, Eddie Tipton, he was software supervisor, security supervisor in the Iowa lottery, and he was over 5 states. And he put a bug into the system. For 15 years, he stole the millions and millions of dollars from all those states. So when he did that, quite naturally, me being the best, I studied him. I'm a pupil, a student of Eddie Tipton, you know? I studied everything he did. And what he did, he made it seem like it was difficult to do, but it was simple what he did. He really tracked the actual numbers and put them in an organized manner, like I got the PICK-3 at a glance strategy. And then he put the program in, and with some kind of software he put in there that when he organized the numbers, it would disappear and nobody would be the wiser. He did this for 15 years, y'all. And he built a syndicate. He wasn't in it by himself. He had other people. He would tell them what numbers to play. They go win the money and split it with him. This man is he probably want a billionaire undercover for sure. He's a billionaire because he did it for 15 years. It took him 10 years to catch him, and then 5 years to prosecute him because they didn't really have no evidence. So yeah, they could if he rigged it, they can do the same thing because he when they like found him and caught him, they gave him less of a sentence for him, his brother, and his best friend to tell him exactly what they did. And he didn't tell him everything. He didn't tell him everything he did because they did when he wouldn't tell him everything, they extended his sentence even more. First, they were thinking at 3 years. But by him not telling him everything, they gave him 2 more years. So yeah, the lottery can be rigged. If not only by Eddie Tipton, it can be rigged by the states against you. Yeah. So, and don't, money ain't everything. I got a family member that's worth millions of dollars and she can't get out of bed and go spend it. So, put things in perspective. And she's a sweetheart. So, yeah, put things in perspective. Millions of dollars. I'm talking about millions of dollars. Beautiful home, everything. Can't get out the bed, take care of herself. All right? Now, but I do this for fun, y'all. If it was any harder, I'm retired. I probably wouldn't be doing it. And I know it'll help people. Because I was out there bad at one time until I came up with my strategy. And I guess people know when I use the term out there bad, that means like a place of no return. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Pick, how you doing? Hi, everybody. I'm fighting with my eyes a little bit more today because they just are running and running and running. So I'm going to try to go ahead through this and hang on and try to keep my eyes clear to read and conversate. But yeah, man, look, like I say, I got a relative worth millions of dollars. Can't even spend it. They go out to spend it anyway. I had another lady same way. Well, not, she was well off, and she had to beg people to come and bathe her, all family members. And then everybody, when you get old, when you got a lot of money, you can't trust them, and especially if you ain't got family or friends to help you. So play this for what it's worth. Make it fun. That's what I'm hoping everybody does. Make it fun, enjoyable, and you're going to get some good licks on them because you'll be working with the actual 1,000 numbers. Okay. Now, yeah, I seen people well off, but your health is your wealth. Your health, in the bottom line, your health and your family and friends, the good ones, are your wealth. Because when people ask me how much money I got and how much I've made, well, I tell them I made money, but I got everything the money can't buy, and that's good friends and family. Very good friends and family and loved ones. Okay. So I think covered that. The law of averages basically here. Let me see. It's an average on anything. And basically what I try to get everybody to see, like I said, the average on these 1,000 numbers, for them come out every year, and you're only going to get a third of the 1,000 numbers every year. Quite naturally, you divide that, and it'd be 3 years, and it could be possibly 4 years. So for 1,000 numbers to come out, it takes like 4 years or 3 years for all of them to rotate out exactly as they are, working with the law average for all the numbers to change places. And when I mean changing places throughout the 3 to 4 years, these numbers on average, if you got 1, 2, 3, each one of these numbers have to change positions. That's working with the law averages and what these numbers do. So, like I said, it'd be 1, 2, 3, then it'd be 1, 3, 2, and then it has to come, with working with the law averages, it has to come 2, 1, 3, then it has to come 2, 3, 1, then it has to come 3, 1, 2, and then it has to come 3, 2, 1. See, that's the law average. These numbers have to change positions. That's what you're working with. All right? And that won't change unless like I said, this electronic draw could put something in the game, because that's what Eddie Tipton used. He could do that with the software using electronic draws when the state started electronic draws. And then if you did a double, like 1, 1, 2, they had to change positions, like 1, 2, 1 to make the different numbers. And 2, 1, 1, like that. Also, and then the only one that don't make a different number is the triples, because no matter what position they be in, they're going to always be triples. And that's the law of average. So that tells you that you got to average about where Eddie Tipton had it down. It was about 3 times out of the year that you could really do it where those numbers are lined up good for you to win. Only thing he was on the inside would help him win better. We are not on the inside, so we got a little bit more of a challenge, you would say. But the law average has to work. Just like the 1,000 numbers, 1 in 1,000 odds, they work because you're only going to get 1 out of 1,000 numbers chances of winning. Okay? But Eddie Tipton, what he did, I think he had rigged the system where he had, like, let's say he had 1, 2, 3, 4. He knew these numbers. He kept them in place. No, it was, and then he had another number, like here, he kept in place number 11. Let's say when he rigged the Powerball, the lottery state for 16 million. let's see, it was three numbers. It was really three numbers he had. 1, 2, 3. He knew these numbers because he rigged them, the software where these three numbers would be the numbers he would know would come. But these two other numbers here, my eyes. Oh, these two other numbers here, whatever they might be, he did not know them. He didn't know what they would be, but he knew they worked by the law of average, and he knew they would have to rotate out. So what he did, he made up cards worth 200 cards, $200 worth of cards, and he knew that one of these combinations would definitely hit on that day of the lottery, and that's what he did. But he was organized. He had this organized enough to know what these would do. See, different with us, we can't organize none of this. Okay? We can't organize any of that. So we got the law of average working on our side, but we have to see when it's on our side, pretty much. But the numbers are still, you got to realize that the numbers still are going to be random in that. All righty? So that's how he did it. He rigged it where he had three of these numbers stationary, and two of them he didn't know. So he had to know that the law of average would work here. And, the Powerball, he kept this number the same. All of the Powerball numbers would be the same number. Yep, that's how he did it. Okay, so in the Illinois lottery last night, we had 757 to come out. Okay. 757. And we're going to do the rundown on the 757 and find it on the sheets. Okay. Do the 111 rundown on it. Okay, now I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, y'all. But with the PICK-3 at a glance strategy, I took 22 numbers and condensed them to know how to play them and to keep an eye on them. I took these 1,000 numbers and I took 22 numbers of these 1,000 numbers, which I call base numbers. And with those 22 numbers, I condensed these 1,000 numbers so at a glance you would be able to see what would be going on with them at any time when you're tracking. And these are the 22 numbers right here that I used. And you can screenshot these 22 numbers and do the 1-1 rundown on the 22 numbers like I'm going to show you, and you will have the strategy number 1. Up here represents 720 other 1,000 numbers. Down here with the doubles represent 270 of the 1,000 numbers that you're going to be able to see on 22 columns. All right? So we're going to do the 1-1-1 rundown on the winning number that came in. All right. 1 7 is 8. 1 8 is 9. 1 and 9 really gives you 10, but you can only use the 0 in lottery math and not the 1 on the left-hand side. Then you're going to count down 1 to 1. 1 to 0 is 1. 1 to 1 is 2. 1 to 2 is 3. 1 to 3 is 4. 1 to 4 is 5. 1 to 5 is 6. 1 to 6 is 7. And then you're going to add 1 to 7, you're going to get 8. Once you get the bottom number at the bottom the same as the top, you add it correctly. Wait a minute. I did it wrong, y'all. I did that wrong. I should have stopped at the 7. Because you see, by adding that 8, I would just kept getting the same number all the way down. Then you add 1 to the 5, you get 6. 6. you get 717, you get 818, you're going to get 919, you get 0. 1 to 0, you're going to get 2. 1 to 2, you get 3. 1 to 3, you get 4. 1 to 4, you get... What the heck? What am I doing here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. How'd I get 2 there, y'all? See that? I told y'all I wasn't good at math. 2, 3. I don't know why I put a 2 there. 4. I don't know why. My eyes are running. It's hard for me to see. Hold on a minute. Okay. 1 minute. Let me see. They should clear up in a minute. They normally clear up. Must be something in the air too with all this cold weather. 7. 1 to 7 gives you 8 again. And we're going to count straight down. 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we got that done. So reason we're doing this, you will always find the base, one of the base numbers in this rundown here. All right. These are the doubles. By that being a double, they got 2 like numbers in it. That's why you call it a double. Singles have 3 different numbers in them, like 1, 2, 3. The 757 that came in, it's a double because it's got 2 like numbers in it. Now, so here's the doubles. And it's going to have 10 columns. And all these doubles have zeros in them. So when you do the rundown, all you're going to pay attention to is the numbers with zeros in them to find out which one of them would be the base number. Okay, so let's go here and find the base number. 080 is 98, which I know that. This 202 is the base number. You'll memorize them. It's simple to memorize them. And when you find the 202, you go to the 202 column with the base numbers, and you'll find the 757. Okay? So let's go to the base numbers. And find these are the singles, and we're going to go to the doubles. The doubles here. And we're going to find the 022. See it here? And you find, see, here it is, the 577. It's not showing us 757 because all these numbers are in numerical order. They have to be for you to understand why you would play them and find them easily. Okay? So it's 577. You circle it off. Bam, you're done. It's that easy. Pretty much once you do this 111 rundown on this number, you go in here, find the 022, you go down, mark it off. Bam, you're done. You know everything you need to know. You know for the month what column this number then fell off of, like all the other ones when they fall, and how many fell at a glance. No whole lot of figuring out anything. No tic-tac-toe, no grid, no root sum, any of that. Okay? So this is the power of being able to look at everything and make rational decisions on how you're going to play your numbers when you're looking at playing them. All right. Now we have a strategy number 2. Okay. And it's called the single pairs. With these single pairs, You got 2,710 single pairs of the 1,000 numbers. You believe that? I didn't really think about it. I say, I wonder how many pairs are in this triangle. And it come out to be 2,710. I'm like, wow. And all of them can be tracked. No guessing pairs what you would play, but knowing what pairs you would play at any given time. And how you do that, you got the 757 that came out, right? It's going to have two different numbers. You're going to have two pairs, all right? So you're going to mark the 7 off here, the 77, and the 57. That's the first time they came out for the month. At a glance, you know what pairs that pair had hits for the month. And with the law average, what we're looking at is eliminating the numbers, knowing what numbers are eliminated, so we'll know what carry over to the next month, or what, when we add our bucket list of numbers, how to play them. Okay? Everything here that's underlined, except for this 11, it did come out last month. I normally, when I make an error like that, I just put no is not correct. So I know that it did come out last month. That's just to give me a note on memory. But the 5-5 didn't come out last month. The 6-6 didn't come out last month. Anything with an underline, let's see. Okay, see, somehow, I thought I marked this. 02, 03. 023, 032 came out the day before, and I didn't mark it off to see. I should have marked it off. Anything underlined, see how I mean the law average catches up with itself? The 2-3 caught up just before here. I marked it off on this big sheet. I'm gonna have to find a better way, because if I mark it off on one sheet, I don't mark it off on the other sheet. See, I got this big sheet here, and I try to use it because it's a little easier for me to see and for you all to see, and I like it. I did mark it off on this sheet, the 023 and the 23 that hadn't failed. I marked it off on the big sheet. And then I would have did the same thing, but I'm forgetting to transfer it to the other sheet that I'm trying to show you guys. And so here, family, it'd be the double sevens and the 57s that I noticed first time it came out for the month. And like I say, anything that's underlined, that lets me keep my eye on them pairs, so I always know if I need to use that pair, how to use it. And you'll know how to use the pairs. That's why I say it beats everything else that gives you hindsight, is the grids, the root sums, the date sums, the tic-tac-toes, the multiple different rundowns. You can't beat knowing what's actually going on. Okay? Knowing what's going on with the actual pairs. Because they'll line up for you. Because here on these here, again, it took one single pair, the 38 pair, it took them 128 days for a single pair to come out. That's how you know what's going on. 128 days in your state. You have to track your state, because all the state numbers going to run differently. That's why it's so hard to figure out what's going on with this and try to say that this applies to all the states. It can't, because all the numbers run different. The way this would really apply if all the state numbers ran the same, but they don't. You want to look for different patterns, but they don't. The pattern's going to be different. But ain't nothing going to change that one of these pairs didn't show up for 128 days in your state, or 90 days in your state, or 60 days in your state. And it can do that. And you have to be able to see that to build a skill set and a strategy to winning. There's a skill set and a strategy to this. There's no skill set and a strategy can do this, because the patterns and everything is always going to change, and how you use this is always going to change. And people got, I don't know how many, I know at least maybe 200 or 300 different ways that they use all these. And a lot of them can't sit down and really explain to you how to use their grids and stuff like I'm explaining here. But this here is simplified. A lot of them can't explain it. If you go back and just search YouTube and see how many channels that's trying to teach PICK-3 are gone. I don't know if I'm gonna be the last of the Mohegans, but I think this going to be around a long time. I really do. When people find the channel and realize what I'm saying here is totally true. No flab, no fanfare, any of that is not really needed, because once they start doing it and seeing it in their states, if they don't go to this electronic draw on us in all the states like they're doing, I think it's in about maybe 10 states now, they can't really mess with them balls too much. But the electronic draw, they can do what they want with it, especially with AI now. They can AI can pick the PICK-3 number that pays out the less amount of money. Period. Because if they can know what number max a number out where you can't play it no more, you know they tracking the numbers, the actual numbers, right? Because if you try to play a certain number and they say it's reached its limit, that means they tracking all the numbers. And using AI or using the computer to track all the numbers to say, hey, you can't play that number. It's maxed out. So that tells you right then and there, and they tracking numbers, so why wouldn't we track numbers instead of doing this? And so everybody know what I'm talking about. If they a constant player and been playing this game, when they go play a number, is maxed out. And they do that on some PICK-4 numbers. So if they can track PICK-4, you know what they can do with PICK-3. Because you can go to some states and they'll max out 12-12 or 10-10. That's a lot of popular PICK-4 numbers people like to play at certain times. And you can't even get it. And I ain't talking about for maybe a week. It'd be months you can't get that number. So you see the money they winning by tracking the actual numbers. That's why I don't do PICK-4s or PICK-5s, period. You can pack, you can track, you can skill set, you can build a strategy with PICK-3, 1,000 numbers. You cannot do that with a PICK-10 or a PICK-5. There's nothing out there that's going to show you that. No strategy, no tic-tac-toe. None of that's going to show you what's going on with 10,000 numbers. That's random. Or 100,000 numbers that's random. Okay, now, and when that 38 didn't fall, I hit it. And you'll have stuff like that hidden for your state that you'll be able to see. Now, same with single code numbers. When they say, what is it called? Do number. They would call these do numbers back in the day. And they'd only talk about one number that hadn't played in your state and to play it. My concern was, when the number was due, how would I use it and where would I use it? So I said, let me make columns from 0 to 9, all the way down, 0 to 9. And what I did, I said I want to know what position, what number fell in. So like the 757, okay, I mark the 7 off on the front. That's the first time it fell, see there? At a glance, you know what's going on with the actual numbers. The 7 on the front, the 5 in the middle, and the 7 on the back. See that? At a glance, you know exactly what's going on with them numbers and how to use them. Now, here, how I use it, in what position, like the 757 hadn't, let me see. Let's say that 757 hadn't came in. And I realized after doing this for the whole year that the 5 did not fall, The 5 hadn't failed on the front, and 757 was my number to play on a double. Was my number to play on the double. I'd make sure I play that 757 for sure. The one way would be, mark it over here, 577. That's how I win too, to hit exact. Along with the, if I'm playing the 757, I have to make sure I play that 757. But when you only got a double like that and you know that 7 didn't fall, I mean that 5 didn't fall on the front, I make sure I put it on the front. Or if it didn't fall on the back, or the 5 hadn't fell on the back, I'd make sure I play the 775 if the 5 hadn't fell on the back. If no 5 fell for the whole month on the back end. You see that's how you build a strategy and a skill set. And you'll see, might see more than I would see. That's like I say for Illinois, I tell you what I'm playing, but I don't really suggest that you just go by what I'm playing. You should be tracking the actual numbers because you could actually see something that I miss and bang them and hit them hard with. Because I had it done. I have subscribers call me and let me know that already. That's why I encourage everybody, to teamwork makes the dream work. Okay. Now, alrighty. And once you get it down, it's going to be fairly simple. And then we do the front pair and the back pair. This front pair and the back pair here, I came up with this sheet because I wanted to have, foresight and not hindsight. I wanted to know what pairs hadn't failed for the year or during the year, really, to see how the best to play your numbers straight. This is the only way you'll pretty much know how to hit straight, by knowing what the front pair is doing, back pairs are doing, when they've fallen and when they've not fallen. So we do the 7-5. This is the year sheet here. We do the 7-5 on the front. That's first time for the year it fell, 25. And the 5-7 on the back. First time for the year. Quite naturally, you're going to have a lot of these blank. But by the end of the year, things will start coming together, making sense. Not only just by the end of the year, by the middle of the year. Like Eddie Tipton, he rigged it where May, November, and December was the months that he hit on, because the numbers had fallen out by that time, and the law average would go into effect for him. Because he hit that $16 million or rigged it, and he won it in December the 29th of 2011. And that was on it, you know what I'm saying? Is that right? 2011. Yeah. So he knew that the best times of the year would be like 3 times when he rigged it. But he had more insight. Like I said, he could rig the numbers the way he wanted. He was on the inside plan. But more or less, he knew what he was doing to organize it to hit. Okay, now. So this has really helped me. If I find a number that on the front ain't fall for the whole year, and a number that could match up like the 32, and let's say go to this column and the 21 ain't hit front or back, then 321 would probably be my main number play. And I found out that the 1, 2, 3 didn't fall all year either. That's gonna definitely be my number I'm gonna carry all year. That's gonna be my number I carry all year. If I find out the 3, 4 on the front didn't fall, and the 4, 5 on the back didn't fall all year, in 2026, that 3, 4, 5 is, and I found out the 3, 4, 5 didn't fall at all either, that's definitely going to be my number. The 345, and then I find out his mirror didn't fall, like the 345 and the 890, or the opposite. Let me call it opposite. That's really what I call them, opposite downs, because the mirror and flip term gets people all screwed up. So with the pick 3 at a glance, I'm just going to call it the exact opposite number. The exact opposite number of 354 is 809. 354 809. So if I know that them two did not fall at all, I'm gonna make sure that I play that 354. That's how you build a strategy and a skill set. You see what I'm saying? And you get a lot of that at the end of the year. That's when the cream is going on. You know, you see when them front pairs ain't fail, and then you made it up with the numbers and the opposites that ain't fail. Because it's easy to see that on the pick 3 at a glance strategy. Because see here with this one, that's why I use this 1-1 run now. I'm gonna show you right quick how to figure the mirrors. I mean the opposites. I've been saying mirrors now, y'all, for 2 years on this, so I'm gonna have to get out of it because I've been watching everybody's every other channel, and how they use the mirrors is confusing. So I try to keep everything super simple. Okay, so I don't want to use mirrors because they call mirrors flipping numbers, and when they mean to mirror the number and think they actually honestly know what they're saying, like I did, but they don't. They totally mirror and flips are totally different strategies, and it can confuse the heck out of you if you don't know which is which. So here we just use one term, and that's the opposite. It really mirror means the same, but I don't. It's too confusing because people use that mirror in a lot of different strategies. But here we just using it as opposite of the 1,000 numbers. I'm gonna show you. +5 here. And we're gonna do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now we add 5 to the 0, you get 5. 5 to 1, you get 6. 1 to 6, you get. 1 to 2, you get 7. 1 to 3, you get 8. And 1 to, what did I say? 1, 5, 5, y'all. Hey, y'all. 5. Y'all might tell I might still be a little sleepy. I don't know why I'm still feeling sleepy. So 5 to 0 is 5. 5 to 1 is 6. 5 to 2 is 7. 5 to 3 is 8. 5 to 4 is 9. Okay? This is simple. This is easy to comprehend. The flip strategy to me is not easy and it's not simple to comprehend. Okay? So I like to keep things super simple. Keep it super simple. 0, 0, 0 to 499 is top half of the 1,000 numbers. And 500 to 999 is the bottom half of the 1,000 numbers. Like here, out of this 1,000 sheets here, you got the top and the bottom. And so instead of saying they mirror each other, they're the exact opposite of each other. Instead of saying mirror each other, they're the exact opposite of each other. That's why I switched to the term opposite rather than saying mirror, because people mirror numbers, flip numbers, and everything. Okay? That's right. Yep. They're opposites, not mirrors. I don't use that term anymore. As you know, like I say, every day I wake up and I do these, I guess, training. I try to figure out how to simplify everything for everybody, because I had teachers when I was in school. I had dyslexia. I didn't know at the time, and I was a really slow learner. And if it wasn't for the teachers working with me and simplifying things down, because I'm a visual learner. I could read a paragraph and when I got through reading, and I wouldn't know what I read. I wouldn't comprehend it. I don't know if that has something to do with the dyslexia or not. That's why I'm still a visual learner. So I also try to teach in a visual manner and make it easy for people to understand it. So yeah, right there. Opposites. They're opposites of each other. Now you can see that. Now, so say you played 0, 1, 2, and the lottery played 5, 6, 7. They just played the direct opposite number of your 0, 1, 2, which is 5, 6, 7. Reason being, a 0 is opposite 5, opposite 0, 1 opposite 6, opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, opposite 2, 3 opposite 8, opposite 3, 4 opposite 9, opposite 4. Direct opposite number, vice versa. If you play 7, 8, 9, and the lottery played 2, 3, 4, they just played the direct opposite number of what you played. And same way with any doubles, 1, 1, 2, and the lottery played 6, 6, 7. Easy to understand. A 1 is a 6 is opposite of 1, 2 opposite 7 opposite 2, and gives you the direct opposite number of those 5,000 or 1,000 numbers. And triple zeros, quite naturally, is the same. If they played, you played triple zeros, they played triple fives. It's direct opposite. 0 opposite 5 opposite 0. This is the beauty of this here, you all. The beauty of this, it keeps you in line, because when you do the 1-1 rundown, 1-1-1 rundown on any of these numbers here, any number that comes in, you're going to automatically get the number and its opposite. That's why it's so easy for me to have put this column together. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. But to find your winning number on each one of these columns. The only thing that won't be down in these columns, if any of these base numbers come in one of the 6 ways that they come in, it won't be down here, because the base number is the actual number that came in. See what I'm saying? So for instance, like this 0, 1, 2, say it come in as 2, 1, 0. You ain't going to find it down here. It was going to be up here as the base number, and you would automatically mark the base number off. See what I'm saying? It won't be down here, because you've been and done the 1-1-1 rundown on the actual base number. Because I had a young lady to call me and say, Mo and Terry, I can't find the winning number that came in on your rundown, or the 1-1-1 rundown. I'm like, oh God, no, don't tell me that somebody done found a flaw in this system, and I know out of all these years I ain't found now. And she said, I say, well, what was the base number? And she said it was 210. I said 210. So I actually did do the 1-1 rundown on the 210, and I didn't see it either. And I started tripping. I say, I didn't see it either. And I looked, I said, and then I thought about it. I said, wait a minute, this can't be wrong. I said, oh, it's the base number. Just go up there and mark the base number off. And so she taught me. I learned. Hey. And then one lady, she's the one that told me also, I don't know who it was, I can't remember now. But it was a beautiful thing. She the one that made me recognize how easy it was to find the base number in the rundown, because she told me, and she put it in there real quick. You know, that's why I say it's a blessing for certain people to everybody's eyes on this can learn something that they can teach to make this system even better. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to expose this system to everybody, because it's somebody going to make it even better than what I got it, and see the beauty of it. This is not for me to keep. This was never meant for me to keep. It was meant for me to share. Because I saw I could live to be 73 years old to do something like that. Because I had no idea I was going to be doing this, y'all. I was going back and forth. I was getting bored at home. Like I said, I go out the front window, look out the window and wave. I go out the back window, look through the glass and wave. I sit in my rocking chair and whittle my fingers. I say, oh, this ain't gonna work. That's about 6 months out after being retired. I said, this is not going to work. And I said, what I'm gonna do, God, what I'm gonna do? And then it said, what about that PICK-3 thing I gave you? I'm telling y'all now. That's what I did. I had hopped in my head. What about this PICK-3 thing I gave you? Then I said, okay. And I said, well, I'm going to sit down. I tried to figure out how to do a book, strategy on doing a book. And I say, okay, I ain't ready for no book. Maybe I can show it on the internet. I always been an advocate of YouTube, really, at YouTube, Facebook, not that Twitter and all that stuff. It was mostly Facebook and YouTube. So I said, maybe I can show it on a YouTube channel. And I went and bought some whiteboards. I bought a bunch of whiteboards. I don't know, I think I spent about a couple of $100 on them whiteboards. And started putting the class together. And that's where we are today. And that's why I want to share it, because he said play it and show it. And that's what I'm doing. I don't ask questions when he speaks. I just do. And I go to church and all that, and people say, well, oh, you in church and this and that. I ain't. I have learned one thing. Whatever I have done is to listen to God and forget what everybody else got to say, because they don't know how God is using me, and don't nobody know how God is using you. But if it comes out all right, if he's in it, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. I don't worry about what people want to do it their way and all kind of stuff and tell you what to do and stuff. I'm going to do what I'm doing, and God going to be the one to judge me, because ain't nobody else got a heaven or a hell to put me in. Huh. And for me, I have benefited a lot of people with this. A lot of people. People winning thousands of dollars and sending it to me and let me know that they're winning with this system. And some probably winning and not telling me. But that's okay too. I'm just doing what I'm doing. But the beauty of it was that these with the zero was all you had to look up. And that's what really made it even more simplified. But all these numbers here, when you do the rundown, they are the exact opposite of each other. The 757, the opposite of it is the 202. You see that? The 8, and you'll see a lot. The 868, the opposite of it is 313. 313. The opposite of the 979 is 424. 424. Okay, and the opposite of 080 is 535. 535. And the opposite of the 191 is 646. See how that all runs together, and see how it's all organized here. And like I was saying before, if I at the end, you can interweave all this together where it gets you in the winner circle. What was it? The 359 I was talking about. If you find out that 359 is on the column, let's see. Let me show you this. 359. Let's see. 359. Okay, yeah. See the 359 right here. Say I find out on this column after I've tracked the column for the year, and I realized the 359 and the 804 didn't fall at all, and I know that the 35 didn't fall on the front and the 59 didn't fall on the back for the whole year. That's got to be my number, because the law average gonna fall right on in there, and that's my number I play all year. That's on my daily list for all year, and I bang them. Which one has to be played? Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. My black 19. I would play the 3-5. I would play both of them. I would play both of them, because they're opposite of each other. You got a 50-50 chance of one of them coming in. Let's say, for instance, tracking these columns, tracking this here, that you realize this column here ain't hit for 90 days, which can happen. Yes, it's for any state. Any state they go on the moon is for anywhere that you play PICK-3. Yeah, for anywhere because it's simplified where it covers all 1,000 numbers. See here, then you got 50-50 chance because you got the 3, 5, 9 that didn't play, and any in its opposites that don't play. See, I do one every month and transfer it over every month. See, this here was for the month of December. And anything, I mark off whatever column that didn't hit for the whole month. I know. So that lets me know, okay, it didn't fall for December. Okay, the 016. See how it picked up this month? That's what I mean you carry the numbers over from month to month. Because working with the law average, if it don't hit this month, 9 out of 10, this column going to hit the next month of just those 10 numbers. But in actuality, it's 60 numbers that you're looking at. So you do a sheet every month. That way you tracking everything every month. At a glance, you know what numbers didn't fall in what position. At a glance, you know what pairs, like the pairs that didn't fall this month here. Or what numbers did not fall off of what column. Off of 12 columns, you're looking at 720 numbers. Yep. So in February, I'll have this, and I'll just transfer that information on February. That way, if say a column don't hit for 2 or 3 months, I know what numbers are going to play off that column by marking them off throughout the months. I also have a yearly sheet. That's a summary sheet that I did for the whole year. See here, these numbers that are highlighted and marked, I track the numbers for the whole year, just transferring these numbers when I hit to this yearly sheet. This is the summary sheet. So at a glance, at a column, if at a glance I want to know exactly what fell and what didn't fall, I can glance like that. And then if I want to know what columns ain't hitting, say this column I know ain't hit in 4 months, I can see what numbers off that column ain't hit automatically. And see what opposite, and looking for their opposites, and that's mostly how I play. See, everything here has its opposite, actual opposite to it. The pairs, that's what you want to look for. That's the key. You're looking for the exact opposite. Oh, let me go to this one here. Everything has an opposite. Just like that's why you want to look for opposites. Like this column here, you got, if say this 05 don't fall on the front, and this 5 don't fall, I'm about to say 05. This O don't fall on the front, and this 5 don't fall on the front, they opposite each other. You can be sure that that falling month, a number gonna show with either the 0 or the 5. Or the 1 don't fall on the front, and the 6 don't show on the front, that falling month, they opposite each other. One or the other's going to fall. That way you know how to play and keep your numbers. The opposite of 5 is 076. See, at a glance, you know what it is. That's why I call them opposite. 076 would be the opposite of 521. You understand why it would be the opposite? Cupcake mama. Cupcake mama? Cupcake mama? Okay. Okay, I think you probably just came on when I explained it. You see here, this here is called a number line. And you make this number line here. And what you would do to get these bottom numbers, you start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You add plus 5, okay, to it. Now, to get the bottom numbers, you add plus 5 to 0, you get 5. Plus 5 to 1, you get 6. Plus 5 to 2, you get 7. Plus 5 to 3, you get 8. Plus 5 to 4, you get 9, okay? Let's say you take the 1,000 numbers, divide them in half. On the top, you got the triple zeros to the 499 numbers. And on the bottom, you got the 500 to the 999 numbers. The reason being, 5 is opposite 0, 0 opposite 5, 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2, 3 opposite 8, 8 opposite 3, 4 opposite 9, 9 opposite 4. So if you played 0, 1, 2, and the lottery played 5, 6, 7, they played the exact opposite number to what you played, because 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0, 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1, 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2. Okay? Same here. 7, 8, 9. You play 7, 8, 9, and the lottery played 2, 3, 4. 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4. 7 opposite 2, 2 opposite 7. You could say same as, but I kind of use opposite. But they have terms, they say mirror, same as, something like that. 3 opposite 8, 8 opposite 3. And 4 opposite 9, 9 opposite 4. If you played a double, there's 1, 1, 2, it'd be 6, 6, 7. 1 opposite 6, 6 opposite 1. 2 opposite 7, 7 opposite 2. Triple zeros, 5 and triple fives. Triple zeros, 0 opposite 5, 5 opposite 0. Now, can you tell me what the opposite number would be of 8, 2, 3? Don't be ashamed. If you get it wrong, I got plenty of time. We'll get it right. I need you to understand this. Cupcake Mom. Can you tell me the opposite of 8, 2, 3? Just you got 7, 3, 8. Yep. But if you're looking at it you have it there. You do have it, but it should be in this manner. That's one of the ways that it can come. It's cupcake. Cupcake. What is that? Cupcake? Mama. I'm gonna say mama, I guess. But you have it right now. But it should be. This is the exact number would be 3, 7, 8. See what I'm saying, Cupcake Mama? The number would be in that order. You have it, but I don't know how you got moved them around. But it would be like this. Same way. Now, can you tell me what the number would be of? I'm gonna give you another one. 4, 2, 9. Can you tell me what number that would be? The exact opposite number of the 429 would be what? Oh, you did get it. Thanks. Yeah, that makes my heart happy that you got it. Really, it really does. It means my work won't be in vain. Yep, you got it. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I like that. All right. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Let's see what else I need to cover. But just remember, though, you're welcome. What is? And welcome to the family, Cupcake Mama. Okay, Cupcake Mama. I think I'm saying it right, Cupcake Mama. Okay, let's see. We just did that. We did the mirrors. I guess I can kind of show a little bit again. That's why I say we have to have foresight, not hindsight, to win. Working with the law of average. All these numbers and the pairs, everything is the same way. That's what you want to look for. You want to always look to see what number in his mirror, opposite. I'm sorry. Like I said, I've been saying this mirror thing for 2 years. I'm getting out away from it. Dun, 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 dun. And that's the beauty of it. That when you figure that out and start looking at it in that perspective, a whole lot will come to you in your state. It's for your state. And the same way with the pairs. You can make them up. See this 01? Now let's say you see it's not marked for the month. Excuse me. If I see that this 01, the opposite of his pair is 56. And I see they don't, I'm definitely going to be looking at how I'm going to use these to play. Because 9 out of 10, 50-50 chance, one or the other is going to show up. The 5-6 pair or the 01 pair. Let me see something. They say Dukers have been coming in California. How long do you keep the same number in? I play my numbers, but I stick with the budgets between $3 to $5 a month. I mean, not a month, a day. Mostly, I try to be within the $3 range. It takes me, depending on what numbers I'm playing. I play my numbers for 60 days, depending on what numbers I'm playing. But I know why I'm playing my numbers. Now you're saying they having duplicate numbers coming in, that happens. But if I know that I'm playing a certain number while I'm playing it, I don't care what they do. I'm carrying my number. They do play duplicates. I think we had a lot of that going on in November and December of last year. But I knew they hadn't played. I knew that they hadn't played. That's why I'm saying triple eights. I knew that why you see the main thing is knowing why you playing your number. Then they don't throw you off course. The 8-8 front did not fall any last year. Okay? And the 8-8 back only played once last year in January. And then I realized that the 8-8 single pair hadn't played since July of last year. So putting that up, making that my list of numbers. I don't care what they do with the numbers. I just need to know why I'm playing the numbers. You got to know why you playing your numbers and play the game. So since the 8-8 hadn't, I did a run on it. 8-8-1 in December. But you'll figure out your strategy. 8-8-1. 8-8-2, 8-8-3, 8-8-4, 8-8-5, 8-8-6, 8-8-7, 8-8-8 was my hot number I'm looking at playing, and I'm still playing it. It'll be going on 2 months. I'll be playing it. 8-8-8, and 8-8-9. Okay? Now, so in December, this was my wheel. I wheeled it down on a pairs that I know by tracking the actual pairs all year, knowing what's going on with them. And I hit the 8-8-5, I hit the 8-8-4, And this month, by carrying it over from month to month, knowing month to month, I just hit the 880 this month right here. And that ain't including the other numbers I hit 4 or 5 times last month. But I stick with my numbers. I don't jump on and off my numbers for the main reason I know why I'm playing my numbers if I'm tracking them. Oh, yeah. That happens. Um, yeah, that'll happen. But the main thing you want to know why you lost and how you lost and how you win. If you don't know why you won or how you won, all you're doing is throwing your money right back at something you don't know about. So yeah, hit this, and so I'm not tripping off the eights. If they come, fine. If they don't, but I know I really don't play. See, the only thing, because I did the same way with the triple nines when I hit them, because the 4-4 pair and the 9-9 pair hadn't played for 3 months. My numbers to play was 4-4-9, 4-9-9, triple fours, triple nines. That's what I was playing. And I was playing the 044 because that was a number that I found that I knew that the 044 hadn't failed. I knew that the 004 hadn't failed. I knew that the 599 hadn't failed together. And I knew that the 559 hadn't played. I was out of town when I won this. I was out of town because I knew I played it for the amount of time I was going to be out of town was going to be like 3 days. So I played it heavy on the nines and heavy on this one here. And I won both of them out of town. So you got to know why you're playing your numbers. Because 044 came in the very next day, triple nines came. But I don't play triple nines every day, all day. Normally, I wait till the end of the year to play triple nines. Because now, like I'm playing these eights, I know I'm working against the law average on these eights, and I'm cool with that. But I know why I'm playing my number. Because on average, on triples, you're going to get 3 triples out of the year. Any numbers, like these numbers here I'm playing, that I wheeled, these 10 numbers, on average, every year, on average now, for the whole year, for these numbers to come exact, you might get 3 1 year, for a whole year, this 3, for another year, this 3. It takes 3 to 4 years for these 10 numbers to roll out. Maybe longer than that being a double. 3 to 4 years, I'm telling y'all. That's why you got to track. And then here, the eights, see last year, and you got to know these things, what I'm saying, and you'll know them if you track it. The 5 triples came out, the 6 came out, the 7s came out, because I know, I'm watching them. You know what to watch when you start tracking. And I didn't think the 9s was going to come out, but likely for the high probability of them coming out, because normally I wouldn't played it, but when I knew that the 4-4 and the 9-9 pair hadn't played for that amount of time, I had to play them. I had to play. So I know these eights are against the probability, but if they don't come out by this month, I'll drop off of them. Then I'll go back to waiting to the end of the year for any triples I play. Just like here, the 6-6-1 fell. Last year, the very first day, evening draw. And that's why, I might do a rundown. I'm just going to do a rundown on the 6-6-1. I have 1 to the 6. You get 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then you're going to add 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. Then 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now look. That's the number that came very first day of the year in 2024. When I got to Illinois, I tracked I had to go back and track everything. And that would have been on column 6 or the 005 column on the doubles. See here, that's why it's important that you know what's going on with your columns. The 00, and I watched them. The 005, you see down here where these columns are, it came for that number came, but it came 616 as I showed here. That's why I did the rundown on it. Same numbers. Now, I'm always watching all the columns. Do you know no number other than this 616 field for 5 months? But I always got my eye on all the columns. It's like just watching a musical, I guess, watching what's going on with the numbers. I always got my eye on the columns because I know what all of them doing. So I know it didn't fall for 5 months. So when I won, I pick up this column. And here, the 388 fell off of it. It came 338 and I hit it. I know my numbers. I know why I'm playing them, so I ain't worried about all that other number or what duplicate what or whatever. Yeah, nines came out Illinois evening draw. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In Illinois. Now, I'm talking about Illinois. That's why everybody have to track their own numbers differently. Because none of this going to add to what you do, but the system, the strategy, the workout sheets are all comparable to all states. Because they apply to all these workout sheets apply to all the states. And I do and OPPP, be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget. Yeah. Make your calendar out. Any other questions? But triples, I wouldn't spend my money on playing them. Some people play those triples every day, thinking triples are the hardest ones to hit, and they pay the least money. Last year in 2023, not last year, but in 2023, triple zeros was the only thing that came out last year in Missouri. And somebody I think said they ain't had a triple yet, didn't had no triple hit in 1 year. So that's why I wait till the end of the year, depending on if I see something to play triples, and usually I know what triple to play, and I know what triples to hit on. And the other questions, don't be shy, because the best way to get in there is ask the questions and study. Go back, study video. There, I got 1,800 videos on this channel. 1,800, and pretty much the principles are the same. But you have built your own strategy and your skill set. The only thing going to be different is the way your numbers rotate, working with the law average. And studying. Study more than you play. Study more than you play. Because there's no rhyme or reason how these numbers are going to come out. None. Period. There's nothing's going to show you what's coming the next day. The only thing you're going to be shown and known is what you track. Period. Period, as they say. All right, family. I think I covered it pretty much. So as they always say, or I always say, OPPB, be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget. If you know what you plan, it don't matter what all these numbers are going to be doing because they're going to do different things, but you have to know why you plan your number. Um, be organized, be patient, be persistent, stick with a budget. Okay, play them till they come, make that money, y'all. Peace and love, God bless. And if you're tracking, you'll soon be packing the lucky town. And tracking is king, y'all, to get in the winner circle, to be a bigger and a better winner.